Hi everybody, it's Sarah Kitchen from Kaleidoscope. Today I'm going to show you how to make a no-bake Nutella cheesecake. That's right, you can make a cheesecake without turning on your oven. In fact, all you're going to need is a microwave and a mixer. For those of you that don't know, Nutella is a hazelnut chocolate spread. So if you're into hazelnut, you're into chocolate, you're totally going to be into this cheesecake. Let's get started. Here is what we need for our no-bake Nutella cheesecake. I am cheating today, so I am starting with a ready-made chocolate pie crust. You certainly could make a crust out of Oreo crumbs and butter. If you're interested in that, let me know and I can tell you exactly how to do it. For the cheesecake, you want 2 cups of Nutella, which would be 16 ounces, 24 ounces of cream cheese, so that's 1, 2, 3 blocks, and 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. For the ganache topping, you're gonna need 1/2 cup of heavy cream and 4 ounces or 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. Our first step is to put our room temperature cream cheese in a mixing bowl and either use a hand mixer or a standing mixer until it's nice and smooth. All right, I have my 3 bricks of cream cheese in my mixing bowl. Now, you all know I use my stand mixer. You could use a hand mixer for this, but I would not recommend using just a spoon. You're not gonna be able to get it mixed smooth enough. So I'm gonna turn my mixer on and I'm gonna let this go for about 2 minutes until it's nice and smooth. The important thing here is that my cream cheese is at room temperature. That helps speed up this process. If it's cold, it's gonna be kind of chunky and it's gonna take forever to mix up. So make sure you've planned ahead and you have your cream cheese at room temperature first. All right, I'm about 1 minute in. I'm stopped it. I'm gonna scrape down the sides with my rubber spatula and then I'm gonna keep going just to make sure it's kind of fluffy and very smooth. All right, I have scraped down my sides of my cream cheese. Next up, we're gonna add our 1.5 cups of powdered or confectioner's sugar, and then we're gonna mix that until it's moistened and incorporated. So I've mixed my confectioner's sugar and my cream cheese. Don't forget to stop mixing every once in a while and scrape down the sides of your bowl because you don't want to have any clumps of unmixed confectioner's sugar. It might seem great in theory, but somebody biting into that crunchy bite when they're expecting something rich and creamy, that's not going to be awesome. So the next thing we're going to do is put our 2 cups of Nutella in, and then we just mix that in. So I'm going to take my Nutella. I actually have generic Nutella, and I'm just going to put that in and mix that into my mixture. Following that, we're just going to transfer the filling into the pie crust and then stick it in the freezer while we make the ganache topping. Now it is going to be thick and it's going to be sticky. That's exactly how it should be. Don't worry. It will get nice and smooth and hard once you put it in the freezer, and it will be delicious. All right, I've got my Nutella in there. Now I'm just gonna start mixing this until it is all incorporated and smooth. Look at that, folks. It tastes delicious. So that's my cream cheese, my confectioner's sugar, and my Nutella all mixed up. Now I'm going to take this and put it in my pie crust. Now, I happened to get a really shallow pie crust, so I'm gonna have extra left over. This is completely safe to eat raw. Maybe not healthy, but safe. So I'm gonna put it in individual ramekins for my kids to enjoy. If you're making this in a traditional cheesecake pan, you'll have plenty and you would just use all of the mixture. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna put it in my pie crust, and then I'm gonna put that in the freezer while I make my ganache. I have got my cheesecake filling in my pie crust. I did have some extra, so like I said, I made little individual cups that I'm gonna put in the fridge for my kids. Now I'm gonna put the lid on this and put it in the freezer, and then I'm gonna start on my ganache. For the ganache, you're gonna need your chocolate chips and your heavy cream. We are going to do the quick and easy way to do ganache, which is just to use our microwave. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do is put your 1/2 cup of heavy cream in the microwave for at least a minute in a microwave safe container. So I'm using my glass measuring cup because I know that that is microwave safe. Give it at least a minute, and you wanna make it sure that it's kind of simmering a little bit. And then we're gonna pour that over our chocolate chips, and I will show you what to do next. I ended up putting my heavy cream in the microwave for 1.5 minutes, and as you can see, it is hot, hot, hot. So be very careful with this part. I'm gonna take my heavy cream. I have my chocolate chips in a bowl. And the first thing I'm gonna do is just pour my heavy cream over my chocolate chips and then let it sit. Yes, let it sit until the chocolate chips start to melt. Give it at least a couple minutes. So let it sit here, and then I will show you what you're gonna do next. All right, folks, it's time. It's starting to melt and break down. So now my job is to stir, 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 stir. And you're gonna stir it until it becomes shiny chocolate or ganache. All right, I have my ganache, shiny chocolate. I'll be honest, I did add a few more chocolate chips, heated it up a little more in the microwave. Now I'm gonna pour this over top of my cheesecake. I'm gonna pull it out of the freezer, put this on top, put the lid on and put it right back in the freezer, and it needs to be in the freezer for like 6 to 8 hours. Sorry, but it is gonna taste delicious.